Hey there, how you doing? Bobby Dirkens here. Thank you so much for joining me for it's a big deal. It's a big night. I'm going to talk about Jake Bentley at the Utah Utes. Now, before I go any farther, if you're brand new here, well, welcome. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. It don't cost you a thing. It's not like I'm saying, hey, hand me your wallet, let me nose around in there. Let me see what I can find. I'm going to take it, and if I feel like leaving you something, I will. No, it's totally free. You go ahead and you do that. Also, you're probably going, boy, those walls are barren you got there. I'm just setting up the place. I still got to put up some of my Clemson banners. Of course, this is the new Bobby Dirkens studio. We got a bunch of you coming in here saying, may there to me, may there to you. Good to see all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're like me, this time of year feels just about right. You know, I've always said, yeah, I might watch a little, football here, or not football, I might watch a little college basketball here and there, but college football is all I care about. That's all I care about. All I have ever truly cared about, okay? So even though this whole coronavirus has shut down basically everybody, the truth is, listen to me, the truth is, really nothing's different for me. The truth is nothing's different for me because I don't care about the 9,000 games of baseball they play in a season, and that's one team, by the way. I don't care about really college basketball too much. I watch some of it, but Clemson sucks at it, but it just is what it is. I don't care anything about soccer. I know some of y'all are, oh, that's the number one sport in the world. That's great. You in the world go and enjoying it, but I'm not. I care absolutely nothing about these other sports they try to get you into. I care nothing about these sports they try to make you watch with women in it. If you don't want to watch it, you're not a bad person. You just don't care about that sport, and you don't care about watching anybody play it, and it doesn't matter if it's a woman or not, you don't want to watch it. So I figured I would go ahead and jump into college football season. Now I know that there's a great fear among all of us that this whole coronavirus shindig thing is going to last much longer, and it's going to dip into our college football season. It's already, as I said, I was going to lose my mind if they canceled the spring game. Lo and behold, they canceled the spring game. Okay, it is what it is. But I can talk about college football right now. We need to have something to look forward to. We really do. We need to have something that we enjoy, all right? Because between me and you, I could care less, all right? So I figured that I would talk about somebody non-Clemson, but somebody Clemson knows very well. Very well. In the first year that Dabo Swinney won a national championship as the coach of the Clemson Tigers, he had Deshaun Watson, he had Wayne Gallman, Mike Williams, Christian Wilkins playing for him. Outrageous talent left and right, okay? I can just keep going and going and going. And they played the South Carolina Gamecocks and absolutely beat their brains in. And the quarterback for that team was young Jake Bentley. Now, Jake Bentley's daddy has been the head coach. If you live in the upstate of South Carolina like I do, in fact, I don't live too far from where his daddy used to coach over one of the top teams in high school football. Had a lot of talent come out of there, a lot of great players. The team's not near as good as what it was when he was there the first time. But the truth is, a lot of people know Jake Bentley. Now, he came out there freshman year. He kind of got thrown in there. Things wasn't working out. He came out there. Even though his first game was against UMass, he got thrown in. He seemed like he had a fire about him. He wanted to be there. He was a coach's son. There's a lot of good things about this kid. The biggest mistake this kid ever made was signing the dotted line with South Carolina. Now, forget that I'm wearing this. Forget it. Says the person with no tone. But go look at it. That was a horrible mistake. I don't care if Daddy was down there. I looked at Daddy and said, you know, Daddy, you remember when I was little? You used to look at me and you'd say, now, I know you want to go do that because everybody else is doing it, but if the whole world goes and jumps off a cliff, are you going with them? Dad, I have to turn that on you. If Daddy goes and makes a bad decision to go coach with South Carolina, which I don't blame him, they're paying him. But Daddy, you're getting paid. I'm trying to make a career. Good luck to you, Daddy. And that's what I would have done. That's exactly what I'd have done because we see how old Jakey Poo's career turned out. We saw how the Gamecock faithful, you'd think these morons had been winning for years and old Jake came in there and messed it all up. We were doing quite fine until you got in here. No, you were just as sucky as ever. And this kid comes in and all of a sudden, oh, this is going to be the one that leads us to the promised land. What's the promised land to y'all? Is that, well, the Capital One Bowl, it must be it. But he come in, he didn't do what y'all thought he was going to do, and then we get to last season. He comes out, first game, playing lowly North Carolina. Lowly North Carolina. In fact, y'all were laughing that y'all were playing lowly North Carolina. Y'all were going to beat them. And this was Jake's senior season. It was going to happen. And guess what happened? Y'all lost. It was so funny. And people were throwing down on this kid going, well, he missed wide out passes here. He did this, he did that, he did this. What about the other what? But I'm talking about players who got switched in and out throughout the game. What about the other 35, 40 players that played the game? I know I'm 7 minutes in this video and I hadn't talked about him at Utah, but I'm serious. We really need to get a grasp of old Jakey Poo here before we go any farther. I go South Carolina. You're just as sucky as you've always been. And you turned on the youngin. Probably one of the only players out there who really wanted to play for y'all. And you turned on him. And then when I did a video about it, you told me, how dare you, you sound like a Southern Baptist preacher preaching at us. Well, let me tell you, if the whole world is dying and going to hell, it doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings or not. Your football team has been in hell, well, since the beginning. Our team, whether you love us or hate us, won national championships. You can't even win. You can't even win your conference, ever. So Jakey Poo, he breaks his leg, ankle, whatever, and he's done. We don't know how it really went down. People said he kicked something. Other people said, oh, he got hurt in this play, and kept playing. What a horrible guy. And y'all trashed him. Y'all, my God. How horrible. I don't know what Jordan Birch is thinking. That's why he wouldn't sign with you, and it took forever. I think somebody else signed for him. Family member. And so he transfers to Utah. Now, Utah had a really good season last year. A ton of talent. One of the most talented teams in college football. They were only a few plays away. I really do. They were very close to being a few plays away from even possibly making the college football playoff. Then they went to their championships, and let me just go ahead and tell you right now, they got their head ripped off against Oregon. But Oregon, they do what Oregon always does. They go and they lose a game at the beginning of the season, and beg God and everybody else will take them serious. And then you start to take them serious, and then they lose another one. So that's your fault, Oregon. So he's going to be there. Jake's going to be there. He's already there in, Salt Lake City. I got my computer in front of here, so I'm going to go over some things for some of y'all who don't know that much about Utah. Heck, I don't even know the name. I called them Oregon. But let's talk about Utah. Let's talk about who they lose. Let's talk about what the conference looks like. Let's talk about all that good stuff, okay? So let's... Two big names that Oregon had, or Utah. I keep saying Oregon. I'm so sorry. Utah, it's a long day. I need to go to bed. Utah had Tyler Huntley. Tyler Huntley, good solid quarterback. He would have up moments, he'd have down moments. During his career, he had a lot of injuries. Zach Moss was a running back. Guy was ridiculous football player. They're losing both of them. So obviously that opens up a chance for old Jake, but you don't have this world-class running back behind you. So we know what that can do for you. We know how happy we are as Clemson fans that Trevor's back, but with ETN, because it's like we get to balance this thing out. They lost a lot. I'm going to just give you some names here. On the defensive side, they lost Bernard, Jalen Johnson, that's a big name there. Julian Blackman, Bradley Anay, a lot of really good football players, and a few of them that between you and I can't even pronounce their name. But anyway, Utah is losing a lot. So he's not taking over a horrible football team. First of all, he's going to a better team than South Carolina. Oh, that's because they play in the Pac-12, and that ain't as good of a conference. SEC East sucks, except for Georgia and Florida. Period. The rest of them is like a bag of stupid possums that's got drunk somehow, and one week, one beats the other one, starts to look a little strong, and then the other one, he kind of gets some liquid encouragement, and he beats the other one. SEC East is nothing right home about. At all. So to pick on him going to a Pac-12 team, a team that's going to throw the ball, a team who has better players around them, a coach that I believe that all around as a head coach, I did not say that, I've said this, Muschamp can recruit and Muschamp can coach when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. He is not a good head coach. And he will sleep just fine because, A, he doesn't care what I think. And second of all, if they fire him today, y'all owe him so much money, he can lose every game and never coach again. And he's got more money. He's already won. I've already told you this. But he is going to a coach who I think is all around a much better football coach, and that's Kyle Whittingham. I want to call him Ty Willingham. That was a guy that coached at Stanford and then at Notre Dame years ago. May there a bunch of you, I know a bunch of you said may there to him. Somebody just made a donation just a second. Y'all forgive me. Aaron, get you a cold one before they are gone. He gave me $2. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Also, I'm going to do this as well. I know there's some others who do this, but I'm going to put an Amazon link inside of my inside the body of the I can't think. I need to go to sleep. The video to where if you want to buy anything on Amazon, if you buy anything through Amazon, you can buy anything. Just go through my link. You don't have to do anything different. Just go through my link, and I'll actually make a little money off of it, so I appreciate it. You don't have to buy anything specific. I'm going to put that there as a new way to try to support the show because I'd like to build the Bobby Dirkens studio, trust me. But I have to have money to do that, and all my money goes to the family. So I'm trying to do that, so you do that, that would help me out. But enough about that. Thanks you to everybody who's helped me out. I'm going to get right back to Jake Bentley. Roger Price said, here's $2. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much at $2. And then AA Ron gave me $2. So that's some more beer I'm going to be buying. Well, Bobby, you can put that towards something. No, I'm putting it towards beer. I get my blood done tomorrow. So after tomorrow night, I'm going to drink me a beer. Or tomorrow, I'm going to drink me a beer. Because I ain't worried about it. May there, Tiger Nate. May there to a bunch of you in here. See a ton of you in here. I'm glad you're in here. Jesse Sullivan, it's good to see you, Jesse. He's out of work for 2 weeks, this coronavirus thing. Y'all be safe and take care of yourself, all right? Okay, let's get back to Jake Bentley. So he is going to have to compete with the transfer from Texas. So all these quarterbacks are transferring. I think it's kind of enjoyable. I'm glad to know that Jamie Newman leaves Wake Forest because all his supporting cast pretty much is gone, and he's going to go down to Georgia. Georgia has the good running game. Blaylock and Pickens, they grew up. They grew up a lot last year, and they did it with Fromm. Now they're going to grow up with this guy. So he's getting a better package. I could do a whole other video on Newman and how much I like him. What I'm going to say in this scenario is that you got Jake Bentley, a guy who's played, and he's played against some really tough football teams. Obviously us, and beat him like a rag doll. And I know the kid come out there and said, never again, and I've had a field day with that because they beat his brains in. And he said what he thought he had to say. He thought he was being a good leader by saying, well, you know, there wasn't that much difference between us. Well, the scoreboard said, son, there was 7 touchdowns difference between y'all and them. And quite honestly, Sweeney could have put up 100 that night. And there was nothing y'all could do but sit there and let it happen to you. But he did what he thought he was supposed to do. And I still think it's the dirtiest thing South Carolina fans has ever done is turning on this kid. So he's going to a way better football team right now, even though they lost so much. Even though they lost Zach Moss. He's going to a better football team. I believe they'll use this guy to run the ball. He can move. But I think they're really going to use him to exploit secondaries. Now, here's where they line up. Now, in early predictions, and I know if you're like me, I don't sit around and just watch Pac-12 football, okay? I don't. And I know you don't. And the big names, like you've heard me say Oregon 100 times in this, even when I was talking about Utah. But the truth is, Oregon and recently Utah have been the only 2 names for anybody to even care about. I see Larisha's in here. Good to see you, Larisha. Hadn't seen you in a long time. That's been my fault. Mom and them's been sick, but I'm back now. Of course, Southern Cal from 2005. That's 15 years ago. It's still hard to get that image out of your head because they were so good. It's been a decade and a half. All right? And every year they're picked to possibly win their division of the Pac-12. Once again, that's what's being predicted early on. I'll tell you where I'm getting my information. Athlon Sports, this is early on. I really like Phil Steele stuff he puts out. I agree with him on a lot of things. I disagree with him on stuff. But hey, that's like buttholes. We all got them. They tend to stink. According to how much farts you do, probably slightly different diameter. Number 1, they say Southern Cal is going to win the South Division. Okay? Now the other division is the one with Oregon in it. Okay? People's already believing that Oregon's going to win that division. The Mario Cristobal and them boys are going to win it. Over here they believe it's going to be Southern Cal, then Herm Edwards and Arizona State, then Utah. So they expect there to be some fall off. They do. And I don't blame them. Now, I believe if Zach Moss was coming back, that would be would be a good one, right? That would be great. They were really known for their defense. They're losing a ton of their defense. If they were losing, 4 players out of 11 lining up on one side of the ball, according to where they're at, yes, that could be a problem, but you can manage that. I mean, you're losing everybody. So it may not be as much of an offensive problem as it is a defensive problem, okay? But he's going to come out and he's going to have the chance to do what he's going to do. Let's go through the schedule a little bit. I won't really give you wins and losses, but I will tell you this. Do they have a chance? Absolutely. But he cannot come out and play football as though he's a sophomore at South Carolina. One of the reasons that they will probably choose him over this other guy is because he has been in the SEC, because he does have a coach's son pedigree. It's going to be because he has did some good things for them. But, all right? But he cannot come out and play like he's a sophomore at South Carolina and think that it's going to get the job done at Utah. So, very first week, it's going to be the Holy War with BYU. You never know about BYU. BYU will turn around, they'll beat somebody they have no business beating. Reminds me of Tommy Bowden's Clemson Tigers in 2005. One week, you beat Miami when they're in the top 5. Next week, you lose to Duke and Durham. That sounds a lot like BYU. They're very dangerous. I would hate to see them on my schedule because you never know how they're going to play. Next week, Montana State. Definitely going to win that ball game. At Wyoming. Wyoming's up and down. I don't know a lot about their football team, but I will tell you right now that they can be a problem. Ask Kelly Bryant. Very first game of the year, they lose it. He threw for 426. Still lost it. At California. California, other than them rioting in the streets and saying everything's offensive, California's really good at starting off strong and then just going to the crapper. It's going to be at Berkeley. Definitely a big game for them. Now, if they could come out of this game with a win and they're 4-0, the very next game, it's going to be at home there in Salt Lake City. And it's going to be with the momentum. That will be massive because Southern Cal is coming to town. Once again, get Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush, Kim Kardashian, 14 husbands ago standing on the sideline, waving at Reggie, talking about cars that was given to him. She was the one who messed this whole thing up. Forget that. There's no Dwayne Jarrett. There's none of that. This is a game he could definitely make a lot of noise for himself, okay? That's a biggie. At Washington the next week, Mike Leach is gone. Well, I mean, they could beat Washington State. They could definitely beat Washington State. Washington Huskies, how good are they going to be this year? Chris Peterson's gone. A lot of personnel change. What's going to happen? I don't know. That's a biggie. These are very winnable games for them. Very winnable games. They could easily go out and win easy 8 or 9 ball games like that. It's how much they'll be able to gel everything together, and by the time they get to a game like Southern Cal, is their defense playing okay? They'll play at UCLA, Arizona, Oregon State, at Arizona State, at Colorado. That's a team who will sneak up on you and beat you too, and then lose 6 games in a row. So how do I pull this all together, and then I'm going to get off of here? The truth is that he has the ability to come out and do some really good things. And I think that somewhere in between here and throwing the ball and making decisions, it happened, and then it didn't happen. It was just like there was this massive disconnect. This will be his chance to prove that it was a lot of South Carolina. It was a lot of the bad things at South Carolina that was going on. But I will promise you this, that if he goes there and he plays like he played at South Carolina, this kid who's a transfer from Texas will either split reps with him or he'll take the job from him. So I'll be interested to see how he does. I'd like to see him do well out there because I think it would be the perfect insult to South Carolina and their fans going, Jake Bentley was this, Jake Bentley. Your entire football team pretty much has been trash except for a few football players. I mean, you saw how good Deebo Samuel is. Deebo Samuel is a talented football player. I mean, all I'm saying is, yeah. You have somebody like him. It's ridiculous. I mean, come on. But I really look forward to seeing how he's going to play. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know also what you'd like to see on the channel coming up. I'm about to start working on the Bobby Dirkens show. That's where we're going to have some just some stuff on here. Got a few sponsors I want to tell you about who's going to be coming on here. Show's growing. One of my goals, I've told everybody, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers by college football season. I know y'all can help me do it. So hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. And for some of you who's watching, you've been on here for a long time, and I know it's a long video, so a lot of people's not going to make it up to the end. But everybody who is watching me, I want you to listen to me. do hit the thumbs up. There's some changes that's coming. And you go, I don't like change. Well, it's corn if it's like changing, like I go from drying my hair with a blow dryer to a blowtorch, bad change. Or good changes like, hold on. You mean I can spend the same money and get a bigger steak? That's the changes we're talking about. So I'm going to do some things, just try to beef up the channel, because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy meeting y'all and talking to y'all and Instagrams. If you on Instagram, find me on there. I just put up a new video, people going nuts over it, you laugh. But I am going to put up, it might take me tonight, it might be tomorrow, but you're going to see that link to Amazon to where if you do any buying or anything, all you have to do is go through my link. You don't even have to put my name in. You don't have to buy anything in particular. You just go through. If you want to go on there and buy a box of toilet paper. If you wanted to buy a car through there, it doesn't matter. If you want to buy bobby pins to clean your ears out with, it don't matter. It would just support the show, and we definitely appreciate it. Well, listen, I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.